a lot of ideas, a lot of concepts are already out there, and how much more can you invent, or what new ideas can you come up with? So it's really difficult but not impossible. The real skill is to collaborate across industries. Innovation these days is coming from a multidisciplinary approach. A lot of our students have gone on to work for huge companies like Puma, Nike, some of the famous design houses in the world. They've also created their own designs. We have a lot of alumni who have been successful. In fact, we have about, at Cambridge School of Visual and Performing Arts, there's about 90% of all graduates who find work within 6 months of graduation.
Bun venit la un nou episod al podcastului WeSpeak Education, powered by Your Way Advisors. Astăzi explorăm industrii care sunt considerate riscante, instabile și supuse unor mari schimbări sub influența AI, industriile creative. De multe ori, tinerii talentați și părinții lor se află la o răscruce. Cum transforme o pasiune pentru artele vizuale sau fashion într-o carieră sustenabilă pe termen lung, care să asigure stabilitate financiară și posibilitatea de inovație? Pentru a răspunde la aceste întrebări, îl avem alături de noi pe Aldo Gordani, Regional Director of Emerging Markets pentru CATS Global, care include Cambridge School of Visual and Performing Arts din Marea Britanie. Welcome, Aldo.
Thank you, Simona. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Your presence will help us navigate the creative industries in a better way. So there are a lot of creative teenagers out there who aspire to pursue a career in creative industries, but they are afraid, along with their parents, that this kind of career might be a bit risky. What is your perspective regarding the current landscape when it comes to creative careers?
The creative art industry has evolved. A lot of new fields have come into effect. The way I would describe it as it's not a linear industry. It's less linear than most, and it's usually a lot self-directed by the students themselves. These fields that I was talking about earlier, you have things like user experience, user interface, motion design, interactive media, artificial intelligence, AR, VR, gaming. These are a lot of industries that have evolved in the past decade, and opportunities in these industries didn't exist when the parents were looking for themselves to go to university. So this gives a lot of opportunities for the students. In addition, it's not just about technology. Craft has also evolved over time. So a lot of organizations within the industry are looking for individuality, something unique. And this is what the students can bring for this generation in collaboration with software and technology.
Okay, but is it talent enough to pay the bills? Or do you need some kind of, entrepreneur spirit, business skills to pay everything and to have financial stability?
It is a little bit of both. Just like the industry has evolved over time, creating new opportunities for students, new disciplinary, new fields. The professional artists have evolved as well in a way that they have become more of a hybrid. So careers these days in the creative art industry are a hybrid. So a professional artist now is not just an artist. They are a technologist working with different software, different technology to create new types of art. But they're also an entrepreneur. So they have platforms, online platforms, digital platforms, where they can express themselves, sell their work, promote their work. So a lot of things have changed, and the modern artists have become a little bit of everything.
Can you give me an example, a specific example of how can a young creative become relevant and seen?
That's quite an important question, because being seen, it's very important, especially in a crowded marketplace as it is today, with globalization, social media bringing everyone just one step away. So of course, most of the creative industry titans would look for somebody who has originality, authenticity. And one of the most important aspects that they're looking for these days is regional identity. So where you come from, your culture, cultural storytelling. So telling a story about where you come from, how you have evolved. But sometimes originality doesn't come just by an individual. It can evolve through cross-disciplinary collaborations with other artists. These days, new ideas don't come on their own. They evolve, they are developed, they are refined over time through cross-disciplinary collaborations. So it's important to have that networking in place and to think outside the box, and don't just get boxed into your own creativeness.
Mm-hmm. There are so many fields, there are so many niches to choose from. What would be a mistake for someone who is about to choose a specialization?
There is quite a lot of common mistakes. For example, following a niche or following a specialization that it's trending at the moment could be a mistake, because things evolve a lot over time. What's relevant now might not be relevant in the future. So following the crowd or following what other people are saying might not be in your best interest, mainly because it's important to find something that you have a strength in, something that you're passionate about, something that you can do well and contribute to innovation in the future. A lot of students have their role models or influencers and they want to do similar things. But it's important to do something that, as I said, that you're passionate about. Another mistake could be not researching the industry that or the specialization that you're applying for. It might mean that the work-life balance might not be what you were thinking about. So you didn't take into consideration how much time a certain thing might take, how it's going to affect your social life or anything that you plan to do in the future. So it's important to do that research, making sure that the industry, the specialization that you are choosing, it's in line with your strength so that you can do a great job. But also in line with the mentorship and guidance that you have received throughout your studies by the professors. And hopefully some of those professors have real life experience that they can tell you about. So it's important to listen to them and make decisions over time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's very relevant. So if a parent should look for, one quality indicator, which one would be?
These days, having so many options available, it's really, really difficult to choose from. So having just one aspect of or one quality to look for, it's just not enough, because you have so many options out there.
Give me some examples.
So, some of the most important examples are the facilities that this university would provide, the teachers. It's very, very, very important. The exposure to industry, it's probably one of the most important factors that you need to look at, especially these days, being such a competitive environment. So those three aspects I think are very important. Now, the quality of teaching, the exposure to industry, they are quite interlinked, because some of the very top universities or the best universities would have professors who are also active in industry. So they're still doing collaborations. They have, for example, their own design line, they have their own photography studio, or they're doing their own short clips, anything like that, or they're active on social media through their own channels. So it's important to choose a university that has not just great facilities in terms of studios and equipment, because a lot of universities have that, but a university that can provide you support, the right support for you, so individualized support, and a university that can provide industry experience. And this is facilitated through the connections that these professors might have through the industry. They will bring in their colleagues from the industry to do workshops, and it provides networking opportunities for the students. It can bring in real briefs from the industry, which is really important, especially when it comes to when you graduate and when you're looking for a job. Having that real brief experience from the industry can make a huge impact.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's dive in a bit into this very specific topic, like facilities. Can you give me some examples of what should a fashion design program offer in terms of facilities to students?
I think a program should offer everything. So let's take, for example, a case with a particular university in Cambridge called Cambridge School of Visual and Performing Arts. This particular university is relatively small, but they provide everything that the students need in terms of their degree program. But the most important thing that this particular university does, it's encourage interdisciplinary studies. So if you are a fashion student, you're encouraged to work with photography, you're encouraged to work with 3D. You're encouraged to work with illustration, graphics, so a little bit of everything. This provides the students with foundation in different areas so that they can evolve over time and use this experience to not just find opportunities in fashion, but opportunities elsewhere. With things like, let's say, digital fashion or visual styling. You know, you get to work with 3D clothing, gaming, gaming skins, and things like that. So a lot of fields, as I said earlier, have evolved, and it is important to have that cross-disciplinary. So not just great facilities, but being able to use facilities across different fields. As I said, photography, illustration, and so on. It's very important to have that experience, and certain universities do provide that. So it's important to choose a university that has this and allows you to work through different fields.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You mentioned several times that for an artist it's very important to work in collaboration with others, to cultivate digital skills, to have a multidisciplinary approach. Is it the idea of choosing a niche from an early stage? Is it a good thing or a bad thing nowadays?
It can be both. It can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. A bad thing, let's start with the bad thing. The bad thing is that this particular student who focuses on a certain niche from the beginning, the negative could be that they might not be as flexible. So they might be very knowledgeable into the particular field, but they tend to be quite rigid for when it comes to applying their knowledge across multiple fields, which is something that is not a ask, but really good to have these days. On the positive, this student would show potential employers in the future, depending on where they choose to go, that they are dedicated, they're focused, they're motivated, they have created their own ideas, they have evolved over time. But the most important thing is, can they show authenticity? Can they show problem solving? Does their portfolio tell a story? So storytelling is really important. So it is, even though you have identified a niche, you need to make sure that you have the right foundations in place, something I was talking about earlier. So having that knowledge across different disciplines is still important, even though you have chosen your niche, just in case you can adapt your voice to changing environments, which I think is very important. Over time, once you have chosen your niche, you need to understand if these problems that come up in this industry are the ones that you like solving. You need to understand if the language in this industry is the language that you like practicing. By language, it can be software language. And over time, once you have answered all these questions, once you have chosen a field, you can refine your ideas, you can expand your knowledge and become an expert in the field.
Besides the hard skills, what soft skills are important for a graduate that stands before, a giant company?
It can be very intimidating to get an opportunity, let's say, with one of the design powerhouses like Nike or Chanel or anybody like that. So what these giants are looking for is exceptional vision execution. In your work, they're looking for color, the texture, typography has to be immaculate. They're looking for idea generation. So what ideas are you bringing on the table, not just your design skills?
And the process behind the ideas and the works? Especially,
yeah. So they need to understand through your portfolio. So your portfolio is not just a piece of finished art. It's an evaluation. It shows your thinking, your problem solving, and your storytelling. It's important to have this when it comes to approaching, let's say, a fashion powerhouse like Nike or Chanel that I was saying earlier. But it's also important to have, as I said, clear ideas, but also ideas about how to position the brand, understanding the brand of that particular organization, and whether your skills and knowledge fits the environment and the culture of that organization.
Mm-hmm. So at Cambridge School of Visual and Performing Arts, do you have graduates that ended up working at such companies right after graduation?
Yes, a lot of our students have gone on to work for huge companies like Puma, Nike, some of the famous design houses in the world. They've also created their own designs. We have a lot of alumni who have been successful. In fact, we have about, at Cambridge School of Visual and Performing Arts, there's about 90% of all graduates who find work within 6 months of graduation. So it's a
big deal.
It's a very big deal, and it can be. It's also higher than more than some of the other industries that you take into account. See what's happening with computer science, for example. 10 years ago, we thought that a degree in computer science would be very important because you're pretty much guaranteed a job. Now all the tech companies are letting go of their software engineers because of AI. So it's a lot more difficult finding work out there. And we go back to your first question: is it less risky or riskier? And in my opinion, there's a lot more opportunities. The visual arts industry is opportunity rich at the moment.
How do you integrate AI in the curriculum?
AI is a big topic. Everybody's talking about AI right now. I think what the students are doing at the moment and what the schools are doing at the moment is incorporating AI into illustration, Photoshop. What the emphasis at the moment is on using AI to generate ideas, but not the final piece of work. So it's helping the students come up with new concepts, new ideas, which they edit and finalize over time. And it's simplifying that idea generation process. What our university or top universities are doing at the moment is not just teaching students how to use it and how to incorporate AI into their work, but to question it.
How?
So that's a very good question. So you question how does AI make this work original? How can I use AI to make this work mine? So you question the final result. Let's take a simple example. Not an art professional, somebody who is using ChatGPT, paying the membership fee, because I don't think you can use it without the membership fee, to generate a poster. And you generate this poster for an event, but the poster is quite general, so it might not fit the idea that you want to have behind this event, what this event is about. It might have information in there or visual aspects that are not appropriate. So as an artist, you would use Photoshop and Illustrator to edit those images and make them relevant to the topic, the brand, the industry, the audience, the platform that you want to post this poster.
So if you're a good prompter, you can refine the work of ChatGPT or other AI tools, right? So how important is for me to know how to use design tools if I have AI tools anyway?
Well, if you're a professional artist, if you're a professional designer, you need to know how to use Photoshop and Illustrator, for example. But if you're not, then you're gonna struggle, and you're just gonna go with what AI it's giving you. And for somebody who's not a professional, it will still look good. It might not be fitted for the audience or the concept that you are trying to promote, but it will do the job. Whereas if you are a professional artist, graphic designer, illustrator, you would know how to use those tools and edit that piece of work that was AI generated to make it yours, to fit your idea, to fit the concept, and everything else that you wanted to signify.
So professions such as animators, illustrators, graphic designers, fashion designers, and so on will still remain, will still exist, only that they will, I don't know, integrate the AI tools. What do you think?
Of course they will still exist, because we're still going to need designers to make clothes for us. We're still going to need photographers to film our weddings and our events. We're still going to need film directors to make the movies. So yes, we'll still need those professions, but the amazing thing is that a lot of those professions have evolved. I made an example earlier about digital fashion and virtual styling, where you design garments for gaming. The one thing that we need to understand at this point is that not just the industry, but also the people listening, the people watching, the customers, their experience has evolved. They're looking for, their tastes have evolved. So they're looking for not just the product, but the experience behind that product. And it's what these new careers are providing. So end-to-end experience. Something like interactive exhibitions, branding events, immersive retail stores. So this all comes from new evolved careers such as digital experience. There's also like creative technologies, something in between an artist and an engineer. So the way that you use tools like artificial intelligence and augmented reality and computer processing to create an experience for advertising purposes or anything like that. So yeah, there is a lot of careers out there which have evolved, not just the current or the careers of the past, like a fashion designer. There is opportunities within each field at the moment.
Which other examples of hidden creative jobs are in high demand right now? Because I'm sure that parents and students would like to learn more about this.
There is, I mentioned a few. There is quite a lot of other hidden opportunities. Let's take, for example, something that didn't exist, let's say 10 years ago, like NFTs, which is sort of like digital tokens. There was a person, Beeper, Mike Winkelmann. He developed this album, Everyday Life. So a piece of digital art, he designed a piece of digital art. He wasn't a professional artist. He was doing this as a hobby. So he had a full-time job, and after he finished his work, he would go home and work on his laptop and create a digital art. And he did that for 5,000 days. Every day, a new piece of art, without knowing that anything would be worth one day. So in 2021, just in the middle of COVID, he decided to auction his digital art, and it was an online auction, and the final bid was for $69 million.
Okay.
To buy this 5,000 pieces of digital art that this non-professional artist had developed over time, and that sort of blew any concept we had before about digital art and set a trend. You have artists like Peck, for example, who is an unknown online artist who uses blockchain basis to develop, generate digital art. You have Miguel Cavaliero, who does digital illustration. So there's a lot of people out there who are very successful with just a laptop, a computer back home, not much background in digital art, but a lot of background in technology, who can be very profitable in the future. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity out there, especially when it comes to digital art.
Mm-hmm. So even it seems like a very saturated world where everything seems like already done, there is still place to be fresh, it seems.
Absolutely. I mean, as you said, it is a saturated world. So a lot of ideas, a lot of concepts are already out there. And how much more can you invent, or what new ideas can you come up with? So it's really difficult, but not impossible. The real skill is what I said earlier. It's to collaborate across industries. Create innovation these days is coming from a multidisciplinary approach. So a combination between art and science, design and psychology, storytelling and data. So it's a mix of everything, and having that interdisciplinary collaboration can bring a lot of new, perhaps not new innovations, but new concepts in market, new ways to interact with people, new reframing how we tell familiar stories. So yeah, there is constant evolution from perhaps old ideas, which if you reframe it, conceptualize it, reassemble it, it can bring something fresh and meaningful to an ever-demanding audience.
So it's important to create bridges between fields and transfer ideas from one place to another.
I think it's very, very important to do that, and we do have the tools to do that through online platforms. Communication these days is pretty much free as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection. And it's easy to find these experts across multiple fields online just by a quick search. So you reach out to them, you talk about common concepts and work on that synergy between different skills, between different industries to create something new and fresh for the market.
Is it being physically present in a creative hub like Cambridge a big deal, or you can build your professional network being anywhere?
I think location is extremely important. The ecosystem, the environment, the opportunities available are all connected to the location. Being in Cambridge, it's an absolute advantage because it's not just a university town. Cambridge is a nexus of startups, tech firms, design studios, cultural organizations, which provide students with a lot of opportunity for real work in the industry, real briefs, using those industries to find collaborations across multidisciplinary approaches, finding the right network for you, but also having opportunities to participate in exhibitions such as the Cambridge Festival or exhibitions at the Fitzwilliam Museum that students at CSVPA have opportunities to do, a very famous museum associated with Cambridge University, but also having opportunities to interact with Cambridge University itself. For example, a lot of our students and academics, they collaborate with researchers and PhD students at Cambridge University to transform their work visually through film, performance, visual arts, and interactive illustration to bring their research and work to life. So this is a very unique opportunity that you won't find in many other university towns such as Cambridge, and it definitely has an impact overall when it comes to applying for your job of choice.
Creative industries are like bubbles, and sometimes it's very hard to get into them. How important is for a student in an art school to be trained to negotiate contracts, to set up interviews, I don't know, to search for jobs?
It's very important, and one thing that students need to have in mind is that they shouldn't just leave it for the end when they're graduating to start looking for opportunities. They should start working on these opportunities from the get-go. So constantly looking for real briefs in the market, finding jobs. But an important thing is finding the right institution, an institution that does prepare you not just for academic life, but professional life, making you ready not just to show your work, but to operate in the industry. So, in my opinion, having that environment that encourages students to have these opportunities, facilitating networking, bringing in industry professionals to talk to students, but also providing opportunities to showcase your work outside of the university. For example, I talked about the case in point, the Cambridge University, Cambridge School of Visual and Performing Arts. they provide students with real briefs as part of the curriculum, and this is what universities should be doing. So, for example, on the second year of study of the bachelor program, for a whole one semester, the students were taking, doesn't matter on the discipline or the subject that they're studying, the degree program that they're studying, they were still taking a live brief from the industry. So work on a particular garment, on a particular piece of clothing, or to do with fashion, but also other disciplines like graphics and illustration. So bring in something from the local industry. And this can have a huge impact on students. And then later on, once you have this relevant experience, of course, you'll be looking for relevant experiences of your own. Towards the end of the university, we'll start preparing you for freelance agreements, NDAs, copyrights, polish your CV, your portfolio, your online presence. Your online presence is extremely important these days, and having a good presence across multiple channels can be an advantage because it would not just promote you and your work, but it makes the industry and other institutions find you a lot more easier. I'm going to give you an example. Just last year, I went to Barcelona for a short trip to do pretty much a photo shooting with my wife. And my wife was looking through Instagrams to find photographers. And there was a lot of them on Instagram, because most of them use Instagram to publish their photos and their albums and what they do. But I used Upwork to find a photographer in Barcelona. Now, not many people know about Upwork, so this is going to be a secret between you and I. It's a place that usually it's where companies would find freelancers, like photographers or digital artists or anything like that, to do a specific project or a short piece of work. And it's quite flexible for organizations to use this method to plug any gaps they might have in terms of workforce, and also cost saving. So I use this platform to find photographer for my event that I was organizing, and when I met the photographer, he told me that I was actually the only person who has ever found him on Upwork, and I actually paid half the price that he would normally promote on Instagram. So it's important to have the visibility across many channels, but the key lessons here is make sure that you constantly update those channels. So if you're charging, let's say, X amount on Instagram, you should update your Upwork account to charge the same. It's important to have the back office, the business side of things all ticked, going back to the question. Prepare for interviews, know how to present your work, polish your portfolios. All this needs to be done in order to have the maximum chances of success going forward. Sorry, that was a bit long.
Don't worry. So thank you for this valuable conversation. I'm sure it will be very helpful for the parents and teenagers. So my final question would be, you've seen a lot of students and their stories. What would be that trait that can separate a successful graduate student from an art school and the other ones? Just one. Pick up. I know it's hard, but try to pick one.
One trait could be, I think the most important one is adaptability, in my opinion. Because the environment is constantly changing, the audience is constantly evolving. We as consumers, we're looking for more engaging ways, more ways to experience a certain product, even when it comes to like a bottle of water. There is a constant evolution of different industries. And I said earlier that most of the big employers, the titans, they're looking for somebody who doesn't just bring ideas, but for somebody who can adapt their voice to changing circumstances and to different projects, to different libraries. So that's one of the most important skills, knowing how to adapt, how to use all the knowledge that you have accumulated over the years, those foundations that we spoke about earlier across multiple disciplinaries. It is very important to use that and adapt to new ways, to new technologies.
Okay. Thank you. It's been great.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me here. It's been a pleasure.
Am ajuns la finalul unei discuții care sper că a adus mai multă claritate despre ce înseamnă să fii un profesionist creativ în secolul 21. Îi mulțumesc lui Aldo Gordani pentru perspectivele prețioase oferite astăzi și pentru modul în care a conturat acest traseu între talent pur și excelență profesională. Îți mulțumim că ne-ai urmărit până la final. Dacă această conversație ți-a oferit măcar o perspectivă nouă, sper să-l dai mai departe către prietenii care s-ar putea bucura de el. Apasă butonul de subscribe și lasă-ne un comentariu cu abilitatea creativă pe care o consideri obligatorie în era AI. Pe data viitoare!